Hello everyone and welcome to a 12th PHP tutorial, and today's tutorial is going to be on user-defined functions. And before we start, I'm just going to say this tutorial is probably not going to get any short or anything. So before we start, just quickly make sure that the Apache service is running, and you can check for if it's running, if it says running, and if you can click the admin button without anything weird shows up. And make sure that you're also in your hello world.php file, and that the hello world.php file is located in the htdocs folder. And now we can start. First of all, erase this whole for loop, not the PHP tags, idiot. Yep, like this. And now type function, function, and this is the keyword we're using when we're declaring a new function. We're going to call this function say hello, and yep, say hello. Okay, so well, this is pretty confusing to you probably, but now let's take it easy and get to a explanation of this mumbo jumbo. Well, first of all, I'm going to show you the structure of how a function is defined. Well, first you have the data type function to show PHP that we're talking about a new function. Then what you got after the function keyword is the name of the function. And when you're declaring a function, always remember 2 parameters behind the name, or else it will not work. And then what you got inside the 2 curly brackets right here is the function body, and the body is what this function is supposed to do. And this function will echo out on the screen hello, simply as that. And now what we do down here is that we do that something that is called calling the function. And the way of calling a function is to type the name of the function, in our case say hello, and then 2 parameters and a semicolon to break off this call. So if you hit the save button right now, and I am going to refresh this page right now, and it'll say hello, and well, that was just what we expected, or at least what I expected. Now we're going to modify it a little bit. So remove the body and replace it with this return 10. Okay, so now what this function will do is that it'll return 10, and as you see, return is the keyword, and return will return the value of 10. Return will, it will return something. It will not print out anything. It'll just return this 10 right here, and then what you type here will be the value it's going to return. So this function say hello will now return 10, and just because we put well, I'm going to show you that in a second. So hit the save button right now and reload this page, and now as you see, it says nothing, and that's because that the return keyword doesn't print out anything. So we need to print out this function, and to do this we just type echo in front of here. So now it'll create an echo statement, and what it's going to echo is the body of say hello, and the body of say hello will return 10. So it says 10. That's not that hard to understand. Also, it can return strings. Function can return strings. So if type hello down here, you'll say, and remember the echo statement in front of say hello, because the return keyword doesn't print out anything. Now if we reload this, it'll say hello, simply as that. And pretty much the hello and over return can return all data types. It can return strings and integer variables, and also it can return doubles, which is decimal numbers. So this will print out 5.5, and actually you can return any data type. You can also return booleans and floats, and floats is something I haven't told you about yet, and all that stuff. But the basic stuff, and you know, pretty much everything that's used in everything that's returned pretty much is ints, doubles, and strings. Nothing else pretty much. So just stick with those three. And remember, you cannot make it return variables. If you try and like got a variable right here called x, and it really set equal to 10, and now typing return x, oops, like that, and saving it and refreshing right now, that will return nothing because you cannot return variables. So forget about that. Also, you can actually plus functions with each other and multiply them and all that stuff, just like you could with variables. So you know, this say hello function will return 10. So if you say and then create a new function too, call this say cake just, and we're going to make it return blah, 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 a lot of numbers. And now type say hello plus say cake, and reloading the page. That will return 10 for some strange reason, and that is because I forgot 2 parameters behind say cake. My bad. So put 2 parameters behind say cake too. Now reload it, and now it says a lot of numbers. Yep. And well, that was actually your tutorial on functions. Our next tutorial will be about something called arguments and functions. So I'll see you there.